So here we have the want question. Now keep in mind that if you want to, you can just read the different steps and just go about it the best way you know how. But I'm creating these so that in case you're not getting the numbers you want or something you don't feel is right, I'll teach you exactly the voice inflection, the way I pause, all those things in these videos. The want question is real simple. What it does is to get people really thinking about what they really want. So it's no brainer. You must develop as you speak to them, if you haven't already, great listening skills. Consider this a crash course. The better you listen, the more they will engage. If you don't show them that you care enough to listen, they will sense it. Believe me. So after you've gone through the peak interest. Now, I don't know why I misworded that. Again, remember this is put together pretty quickly. You say, before I go through a presentation that might be a waste of your time, may I ask you a question to find out if it is or not? And at that point, they'll say yes almost every time because they don't want to waste their time watching something that they don't know if it's going to be for them. You say, okay, John, have you thought about lately what you want a little more of, or maybe a little less of in your life? And without even hesitating, you say, well, I guess that's a two-parter. Don't let them answer. Why don't we start with what you want a little bit more of? Keep in mind, the more you get them to engage in this, the better. Also, you need to write down what they're saying. Jot down bullet points that you can read back to them. Now, if they say, I would like to have more money or more time, that's too vague. You could go ahead and say to them, well, I think we both agree that money is just paper and dirty paper at that. Be funny about it, jokative. What would you do with the money? What would you do with the time or the extra time? And get them to really talk about their family or what's really important to them. This will take a little while, but if you do this correctly, it will it will get them to take that journey with you, or at least a much better chance of it. Also, keep in mind that this is still a potential prospect and not a prospect. At this time, if you notice that they're really not engaging with you much, release them kindly, and it's not worth trying to pull things out of them at this point. A little reluctance could mean that maybe you're not listening very well, and it would be better for you to start listening a little bit better, learn from these experiences. You could go ahead and say to them at that point, you say, I have a hunch, John. You are not that interested in what I'm talking about, or talking about this, whatever way you want to word that. Am I correct? If they agree, then you tell them that's okay. How about I go ahead and send you a link? This way you can safely check it out. Check out what I have to share with you, and you can decide whether or not to take it forward or not. If they say no, I'm okay, I'm going to go through this process, they're willing to re-engage with you and tell you what they really want, then continue with them. Then you can say, if I'm sorry, after you get the list of things and you feel you've got the most important things, then you can go ahead and say to them at this point and say, may I read this back to you so that I can just make sure that I understand exactly what you're looking for. Then read the bullet points back to them. That's simple enough. There's no particular voice inflection or anything you have to do there. Just read it back. Now, John, and you say, now, John, how would it feel? And you really, 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 really need to help them engage in this. How would it feel once you would have the money and the time to take that vacation to Italy, whatever it is that they're saying, you said you wanted, or to have the money for little Johnny to be able to go to college and not have him worry about paying back a student loan? How would that make you feel? And make sure that they're living it out in their mind and their heart. The feelings of having what they want. This is important. This is critical because that'll get them thinking about what they really want. And if you can show them that what you have or what we have to offer will get them what they really want, it'll move them forward. Now you call them to action. you say, would you like to do something about that? Now that you know that they're feeling those emotions and everything, would you like to do something about that? If they say yes, book the follow up. I'll teach this in the next section. If they say no or they hesitate to the point where you feel that it's not, but have the hard time, or they're really saying no, but they're having a hard time saying no, then you say, tell them that's okay. How about I just send you a link? This way you can safely check out what I have to share with you, and you decide whether or not you want to take it forward or not. Remember that everything is about getting them to the same link that you have received. You can do this at any time, but if you could take them through the whole process, this helps you get a higher percentage of yeses. Big time. Let's go to the follow up.